Sup, guys, we're here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. I've been working on this one since September. This is Synchrons. Well, not September, since we got the ban list about 3-4 weeks ago, wherever it was. And this is my new Synchron variant. This is, takes some element from Dark Synchro to some degree. Just the endless constant. I don't know why he did that. I honestly don't know why he did that. It didn't really matter unless he hit Hyper Librarian, but jeez, like, why would you hit that? It's still a question. Anyways, there's a lot going on here, as you can see. We got about like 8 games, I believe, about 8 different games. So that's gonna allow you to see. So you can go Quasar with this version, but typically I don't. But I did it for the video because I was like, all right, if I don't go Quasar, people are gonna be like, yo, no Quasar, and I'll be like, I do run Quasar, but I like to focus a little bit more here on something else. But look at this. Starter's Charge Warrior +3. I included some stuff that you guys obviously told me to include last time because I didn't want to make you guys felt like I ignored you. So let's get into the rest of those games. So now I go against everyone's favorite, Chain Burn. I say that ironically. And for those who are wondering, I'm okay with showing the losses, but the only times I lost while playing this was basically when my opponent had a Floodgate, and I had no way of breaking Floodgate, so that's just so you guys don't wonder, like, oh, Ryu's not showing it. Trust me, I would, but it was kind of boring to sit there and go against Vanity Speed and just take 2400 when you can't really do nothing, because I don't main deck Raigeki currently. It's something I'm thinking about, but I'm running a combo deck at the same time, so it's kind of one of those, necessary evils, I guess, if you want to phrase it that way. I probably could have waited to bring back Level Eater, but it'll pan out in a sec here. Just look how crazy this goes. He's at 14 cards still remaining, and I'm trying to deck him out as much as possible. And I was like, let me see how this pans out. He's got every counter, like, he's got everything he could ever want. He goes for the Lava Golem, I go for the Twin Twister, Nullifying 2, he drops like 20 because there's too many cards in his hand. Dual Warrior comes back, Cypher and Lord Omega puts himself back, I think, or no, he puts something else back. Haven't used Cypher and Lord Omega yet. He's got Just Desserts and Chain Strike because those cards are dank as fuck. So I use Starter's Charge Warrior, like I put back Starter's Charge Warrior with Cypher and Lord Omega, and I believe I put Coral Dragon back with Duel Warrior, so in case you're wondering how those came back to be. And I still end the game with 1800 life points after he got everything he could ever want. Want to have a fun time? We'll go against Despots, another OTK deck. I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound like I'm just like completely hating, but a lot of these decks are just, they're just a pain to go against. Like, if I go against Dark Law, it's a much harder time to go against Dark Law, honestly. It's one of those direct counters that will not allow you to play the game, and I know what people are going to say, but Ryu, you're playing a deck that doesn't really allow people to even make a move because you're too busy doing a 20-turn move. Fair enough, right? Fair enough. To each their own. But my whole thing is, like, it just, I don't know. But anyways, back to the focus of the game. Is I'm trying to stay on topic here, but Coral Dragon going to pop a card, Quick Draw going to sync out for Drill Warrior. I could go Ultimaya if I wanted to go Ultimaya route, but I don't know. That's also something to consider. If you want to do like an Ultimaya variant, that's also going to work consistently. I just take out his card and I go for another Formula Synchron. I can go for Crystal Wing now, which is just super duper lovely. I'm not losing any advantage. And I know what people are going to say, oh man, I can't wait for Lovely events. I'll be honest, it's earning its ban right now between this and Dark Synchro, to be completely fair. I mean, look at this. I still have a 6-card hand, and I dropped 4 Synchros and a freaking Level Eater on the board to end the game and took away everything he had. Yeah, that's not completely fair, to be honest. But hey, that's Yu-Gi-Oh! For you, either Floodgate monsters or just spam stuff. But this guy, Maxx C challenge number 2. I said, fuck it, bring it on, let's do it. I'm not afraid of no Maxx C. I'm not afraid of no Maxx C, man. Maxx C is my family, okay? This is what's gonna happen. He goes for the effect filler. I would have went for it on the Hyper Librarian, to be fair, because another Formula Synchron is gonna come out, and I'm gonna draw 2 more. And then a Lord of Darkness, because I like draw power. Coral Dragon, pop a card, boop. And then we're going to bring back, go into Omega, go for Coral Dragon, draw, go for Hyper Librarian, draw, go for Lord, draw, go for Tuning. And then Quick Draw, and an Upstart, because why the fuck not? And I force out an Effect Veller, which is always so lovely, which is fine by me. I could have made a Cyber Dragon Infinity right there if I wanted to include it, but that's something you can do, to say the least. I stuttered like a motherfucker there. Go for Junk Gardener, go for Tuning, because why the hell not? Go for Level Eater into Jet Warrior. Look at the insanity right now. Just look at the insanity. Just insane. And make a Quasar, because why the hell not? And bring back the Level Eaters, because I just want my opponent to have like every counter. And I played Soul Charge this turn, so I can't attack. So I have one negation, and I'm going to Twin Twist that, so he can't activate anything else. He goes for Rod. I'm ripping a card out of his hand. Look, it's another Dark Magical Circle. Lovely. That's the only thing that really matters. And he's like, fuck this. What were his face downs? Call the Haunted, Magician's Navigation, so he's up to his Call the Haunted, and Magician's Navigation. Jeez. And this is against a deck I can't wait to bring to the channel, because some people are just getting behind it again. And it's nice to see that, because they got another Lure of Darkness to play with. Is Gimmick Puppets. I haven't seen them in like forever. They're just one of those fun decks that, you know, it's just fun to watch. It's fun to play with, but they just lose so much advantage. Formula Synchron, Hyper Librarian, draw 2, you know the combo. Drill Warrior, draw 1. Quick draw, and then play an Upstart, because why the hell not? Go to Armory Arm. Gonna bring back the Jet, go to Jet Warrior, because you can actually print out Jet Warrior through that. I don't care what he sends to the graveyard, because I don't really need it. Go for Glow Up Bulb, and then sync out for a Coral Dragon, high Coral Dragon, and then use, just go for the Junk Gardener, and then just look at the insanity. This is what I love. If you have Hyper Librarian, you lower this by 1 with Level Eater, and you go to Stardust, you pick up 3 freaking cards. That's pretty nutty by itself, the fact that you're picking up 3 freaking cards by itself so easily. And then I can make another formula here, pick up 2 more cards. It's insane. My deck count's at 17 currently, and it's dropping like immediately fast. I can't even talk right because I'm just watching this. And then I nullify the one that would pop out, the Shadow Feeler. I'm like, nope, not gonna let you have that, and just gonna lead up to the OTK. But the reason I'm showing so many of these like just OTK status turns is because that's pretty much what happened. It's a lot of OTK status. It's either you get Floodgate or you OTK. It's Glass Cannon deck, and it's fun to play. But for those of you wondering how it would fare against something like Metaphys, which my opponent went first and could have done the whole thing because he's got the scale in hand but decided not to, let me show you how this pans out. So this is the optimal hand that you want to pretty much see, but you can work around with any other hand. It's Synchrons. You make do what you get, and you go from there. You make 1,000 combos. So Junk Gardener, I'm gonna flip it face up. I wanted to see if it was the variant that I thought it was. It was the Yang Xing variant, so I knew exactly how to counter this immediately. Just start with the Trish play, and I rip out the fusion, and basically just gonna go for one giant play here with Road Warrior. I took Road Warrior out, and I'll explain why during the deck profile. I did take him out. And then I went against Ancient Gear Metaphys, so this way you guys can see some sort of idea here of how that would look. But he didn't get the optimal hand because he's got the level 9 hand. That's never a good thing, you know. So you want to get that out by Gear Town. And I'll comment on the Road Warrior thing now, as I know I was going to say beforehand. Is he in this? No. I dropped the Road Warrior for Tatsunoko, because Tatsunoko carries more weight than Road Warrior, and I already had 3 targets for the quick draw. So I didn't really feel like I ever needed to have another target. The only thing is you can't hit the higher levels. You can't hit that higher level. See, this is what I mean about not getting that optimal hand and making the best of it, because of Child Dragon. Like Tatsunoko is going to just carry you into it, which is so lovely. And I go for a Trish here because I was like, it worked the first time, let me do it again. And then just rip out 3 cards from his hand, and then of course keep synchroing, because stay calm, keep synchroing is just a lovely thing. He actually thanked me at that point for sending that back to his hand, but my whole point of doing that was so that I can actually end the game there, because that was my whole plan. I'm an evil son of a bitch. And for the last replay, I think this is some kind of Resonator deck. He plays Upstart, he plays Red Resonator. I Effect Veller that because I was playing variant of Resonator at the time, so I knew exactly what to target out. because his whole goal was to target to use this to hit into the Scarlight. I can't remember the Scarlight's name. Go for Glow Up Bulb here, go for Level Eater here, and just start making Synchros like a boss, And then, of course, go into Child Dragon, go into Hyper Librarian, lower by 1, go into Jet Warrior, and then I can lower Jet Warrior by 1, but then I'm not really going to be able to hit anything, so I top deck into the Quick Draw because I am a boss. Go into the Drill Warrior. You gotta feel like a boss playing this deck, seriously. Go to Coral Dragon, do the whole thing, because so I can recoup my hand, the Coral Dragon loop, which I was talking about. Not the loop, but the draw power that you get off the Stardust Charge Warrior and the Coral Dragon. And just some deck thinning, some Level Eater spam. That's pretty much what the deck does at its finest. Put back the Formula Synchron and just attack in for massive damage. And I believe this is game here, which is just extraordinary. I thought I could have sworn he maybe was. Oh no, he's at 200. So I'm not mistaken. I'm not. He's at 200. I couldn't finish him. I'm terrible. I probably could have just continued my plays there. He goes for Scarlight. I draw 1. And I put it in defense mode. I eat 2,000. He goes for Abyss, if I'm not mistaken. Abyss is so good. I cannot, for the love of me, not say how good Abyss is. I was actually expecting level 10 to pop here, but he did. I guess he decided against it because he wanted a nullification, but that's all cool. So go for Junk Synchron, go for Effect, he allows it. Go for Jet Synchron, go for Formula, pick up 1, go for Crystal. And this is pretty much a lock right here, regardless of anything he tries. And then, you know, I only have to worry about back row. I nullify his dragon there, so that way it's it'll be game pretty much, because all I have to do is smack that. Well, I could have just smacked that, but I get to smack that in the face, and this goes up. Look at the attack points. 10,400 attack points on a Crystal Wing. I get too excited about this game. Now let me show you the deck profile. Alright, now that I showed you 8 games, and I'll try to explain some of the combos, but it's pretty much what you would do with Synchrons as always, so you can look back at those older videos and go from there, and then just pretty much that's the thing. So, obviously there's a few main deck changes. I put Upstart, I put 3 Allure, we're going faster in the deck, we're going more aggressive. If I had to put Raigeki in the deck, I would probably drop out the Upstart Goblin or the Tuning Wear to include it. I'm still trying to figure that one out, but I pretty much decided to go super heavy combo, and Tuning Wear does have some nice synergy with the Child Dragon because you could use it, and then obviously get 2 draws if you have Hyper Librarian up, which is always great. So 3 Quick Draw, 1 Mathematician, 3 Junk, 1 Dandelion, double Quillbolt Hedgehog, triple Doppel Warrior, 1 Plague Spreader. Yeah, Plague Spreader seems really odd, but here's the thing: if you have Stardust Charge Warrior on the field and you send Plague to the grave with Quick Draw, and you basically stack 1 for Plague's effect, which you'll be getting back if you have Hyper Librarian on the board, you can instantly go into Crystal Wing or Omega so much easier. So it actually pans out. He also helps out bring out Child Dragon in, Tatsunoko in bad hands to help you get to Hyper Librarian. So it does happen, it does help out. And then we have 2 Rush Warriors, 3 Level Eaters. I know what people are going to say. Oh my god, I can't wait for this to get banned. Enjoy it while you can. 3 Jet Synchron, 1 Tuning Wear, 1 Glow Up Bulb, double Effect Filler. I cut 1 Effect Filler from the typical lineup, mainly because 2 felt enough. The deck is fast enough when it goes off to really not have to worry about it. And what are you going to do against a Vanity's Fiend? This is not going to help against a Vanity's Fiend. I am considering Maxx C over Tuning Wear, 1 Effect Filler, and then the other Effect Filler would become Raigeki, and keeping extra speed. I don't know what I just did there. There we go, much better. So I'm thinking about going that route as well. So I'm taking that in consideration. We'll see how that goes, throughout the next couple of weeks and whatnot. 3 Allure of Darkness, 1 for 1, Rhoda, Soul Charge, Upstart, Foolish, triple Tuning, triple Twin Twister. I cannot stress enough as a Synchron player that Twin Twister is a godsend, and we should be running it at 3 for the simple fact, in case you mill 1 off Tuning, and for the simple fact that if they have a giant floodgate on the board that is a trap card or whatnot, you can get rid of it. But if it's a monster, you cry in the corner. Just to make things a little easier. Now, let's talk about the extra deck, because the extra deck, I went through a few changes Obviously, the Road Warrior was the final one, but I went through a few changes. I am running Quasar for those situations that I can clear out my opponent's whole board and then just stick 8,000 into him and have a nullifier. He's still good. It's not that he's bad, it's just that he's easier to get over than he ever has been. Hi Kaijus, how are you doing? Hi Lava Golem, how are you doing? Like, people are ready for things like Trait Toad and Dark Law to be on the board at the same time. They're going to be ready for your Quasar. Just how it is. One Trish, one Crystal Wing, one Omega, one Drill Warrior, one Coral Dragon, one Stardust Charge Warrior, one Junk Gardener, one Hyper Librarian, one Jet Warrior, one Excel Synchron, one Armory Yarn, one Tatsunoko, and double Formula Synchron. The most expensive things in the build for budget players would be Crystal Wing and Omega. I really can't stress how good they are. I mean, you can get away without Omega, but Omega's just really good for putting back Plague Spreader and Jet Synchron. And if you're a Lord of Darkness, a Level Eater, there's that too. So, you know, and the Rush Warrior. I can't stress the Rush Warrior enough. Free cards to your hand. I just want to go over it one more time. The Quasar thing, again, I don't just like instantly go for Quasar. I'll go for what's best in the situation, and most of the time my board will end with Omega and Crystal Wing with Hyper Librarian up, and maybe like, I don't know, Jet Gardener and Junk Gardener in defense mode, and a Drill Warrior that's banished out that'll be coming back. That's a more optimal field. But if I can end games with Quasar, because you want to bring it out late, you don't want to bring it out early. You only want to bring it out early if you know, okay, I'm ready to put in like 8,000 damage to my opponent, but I'm fearing a Gorge. That's, you know, that's pretty much the main time to go Quasar, is to really force it out. So let me know what you guys think down below. Don't worry, I know Red Eyes Galaxy, those are things that you guys want to see like ASAP. I am finishing working on it. Hopefully it'll come out at the back half of this week. We'll see. I don't want to promise anything until I exactly know what those last two decks are that are dropping this week, or last deck this week. I'm not quite sure. But thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. Make sure to subscribe for more if you're new and you enjoy the content, and I will see you guys later. Peace.